welcome to another V's Cards video. My name is Veronika Čuić, and in this video we're going to take a look at making some fun punch art Halloween puppets. Now I am only using what I have at home. I have never bought Halloween products for some reason. I wanted to explore with the products that I already had at home. So I will walk you through what I've done to create the puppets, and later in the video I'll also show you that you can make little display tags as well. In the Stampin' Up mini catalogue there is the cutest Halloween bundle. This bundle features a fabulous stamp set plus a punch which can punch out 3 different shapes. The products work fabulously together, but they also work well independently. When you purchase the 2 as a bundle, you receive 10% discount. Stampin' Up punches are time savers. You can save a lot of time making craft really quickly and simply, and they're perfect for beginner, casual, avid and even child crafters. To shop and view the full range of Stampin' Up Halloween products, head over to stampinup.com.au, and if you're seeking a demonstrator, please choose Veronika Čuić. Thanks so much for your business. Let's take a quick look at the characters and the punches I used to craft them. So these are ordinary everyday punches that probably wouldn't seem Halloween to you, but with a bit of imagination you can come up with a lot of options. I did end up using a retired apple builder punch for the pumpkin, but I've previously shown you heaps of Stampin' Up current products you could use instead. The witchy penguin has a bit more detail, so I'm going to show you how I built that, but I'm going to not use any stamping at all. The benefit of having punch bundles is that you could stamp first and punch second to get a full detailed look of whatever it is that you're building, but you also have the choice to simplify the project by omitting the stamping part and going straight to the punching and building the character. I stamped for my first penguin, but for this penguin I'm just doing the punching and building. As you can see, I have punched out the 2 larger body pieces of the penguin, and I'm just building up the penguin by adhering one on top of the other. I used basic white and basic black cardstock for those 2 pieces. Then I used pumpkin pie to punch out the flippers. This time I'm going to change things around with the flippers. Instead of having them in front of the penguin as though the penguin was sitting, I'm going to put the flippers behind it as though the penguin might be standing. Having those 2 separate flippers just adds a whole lot of variety to the way you want your penguin to look. I'm going to change a couple of things about the penguin, and I'll show you in a close-up that I have stamped the penguin's beak previously, the first one here. But what I'm going to do is create a diamond. I just cut a diamond shape using pumpkin pie cardstock and my scissors, and I'm just going to create a score line in the middle of the diamond so that the beak can open and close easily. One of my favourite features of the stamping trimmer is that it houses both a scoring and a cutting blade on the track, and you can use both, so it's kind of like 2 for the price of 1 because of its versatility. I'm closing off the beak and just pressing down so that it folds nicely, and I'm only going to adhere the bottom beak so that the top beak can still open and close, and it looks more 3D, and I kind of like that fun feature. I decided to try some fun Google eyes for the eyes, but I tell you, these were really cheap and there was so much mucking around going on trying to adhere them onto the penguin. It did tend to fall apart, so the backing came off and the Google Eyes was falling off a couple of times, and so much mucking around that I wish I'd used a rhinestone and coloured it in black texture, or used another type of jewel to finish up with the eyes. Later on in the video you will see some examples of what I could have used instead of the Google Eyes. Next up, I'm going to punch out the witch's hat. Now if you notice, I haven't gone all the way down. I've made a shorter triangle because I just found that using up that cone all the way would make the hat too big and not in proportion with the penguin. For the base or the rim of the hat, I'm going to use the double oval punch, but I'm not going to feed the basic black cardstock right into the oval. In fact, I didn't go more than halfway. And then I go ahead and round off the corners. I didn't want sharp corners. I just wanted to look more like a hat rim. I probably could have used a corner rounder punch, thinking about it now. Using the Label Me Fancy punch, I'm going to punch out that thin strip, which is going to be my wand or the witch's wand. And I'm just using a black marker to colour it in and just leave a white tip. I'm not sure if I should have done that. Maybe I should have coloured it all the way. Maybe it's too magician-y. I don't know. What do you think? I love using my multi-purpose liquid glue. It just can get into those smaller places, and using my Take Your Pick tool helps me to guide the little pieces to where I need them to be. But it does get a little bit sticky, so I do keep a baby wipe handy at all times. Now it's time to create a cape. Now I thought of this last minute, but I thought, hey, wouldn't it be fun to use a punch that wouldn't normally create a witch's cape and play around with possibilities. I use liquid glue to adhere the cape for my first witch, but for this one I'm using dimensionals. Now you've got to be careful that the dimensionals is not going to stick out, so maybe you're better off putting it on that leaf part rather than on the back of the penguin, because there is some guesswork involved there if you don't want that dimensional to show up at the back. Rather than using the black and white twine, which I did for my first witch, I just went for a white twine, and it's so much easier to manipulate when you're tying the bow, so it's definitely kids friendly, and I would choose this option over the striped black and white twine. As you're building your characters, don't forget to have fun, experiment, see what works, try different things, make the characters a little bit different to each other, and just have lots of fun. To create a puppet handle, I'm going to use these pop sticks that I purchased from the variety store. Rather than using wood glue, I'm just going to use my tear and tape, and I have experimented with tear and tape before, and it seems like it doesn't peel off the character, so that's great news. Okay, I'll be honest, I'm not a skull person. Out of all the puppets that I create today, the skull is my least desirable. It's something I would normally avoid, but here I am actually creating a skull using a strawberry built punch, believe it or not. I'm using a Sharpie to create detail to the skull face. Now, looking back, I would definitely use a thinner marker for the mouth part. For a bit of fun, you could add a second face to the puppet so that you have two different facial expressions. Addressing my retired pumpkin bundle, I wanted to show you an example of what you could use instead to create a pumpkin puppet. Now also we've got that triple punch that I talked about, the cute Halloween bundle that has a pumpkin head as well as a cat face and a ghost. Now I know we're focusing mainly on punch bundles, but I really wanted to bring this die set to your attention because I think it's fabulous. I love the spider web, the witch's hat, and some of those label shapes as well. We've looked at stick puppets, now we're going to look at some possible tags or just some funny characters that can float or hang up for decoration. So I'll just go through that very quickly how to do that. Basically you need to cut out or punch out 2 silhouettes and adhere them together with twine in between. The twine is hidden away on the inside and you can choose whether or not to decorate both the front and back of the character. There are so many embellishments to choose from when it comes to Halloween eyes. You've got the matte black dots, you've got the metallic silver pearls, you have the iridescent pearls, which are kind of black iridescent. You've got rhinestones, which you could use a black Sharpie to colour in if you don't have any other options. I even used the 2021 to 2023 in colour jewels. Well, I've experimented with different types of cardstock and specialty paper, and I found that using vellum on the outside of the ghost just creates that kind of special ghosty feel. So I've got basic white cardstock as well as vellum. I'm going to stick them 2 together by using mini glue dots. I'm going to put 2 there next to the eyes, and then I'm going to stick the 2 punched out tulips together. But first I'm going to curl the bottom ends of that ghost so that it sticks out. It looks a bit flowy by using my bone folder. Now it won't matter if you can see through the vellum to see the glue dots because they're going to be covered up by any rhinestones or embellishment that you're going to use for the eyes. Well, I really hope you enjoyed these tips and tricks and some ideas for punch art and Halloween crafting. I wonder if I've inspired you to get your creative juices flowing to experiment with your Stampin' Up punches. Please take a moment to like, comment and share this video, and if you're not yet a subscriber, we would love to have you subscribe. Thanks so much for watching and happy crafting.